afternoon. As you can see, I keep copious notes of everything. I consider it a great legal skill to reduce everything to the size of a postage stamp, but this is actually the back of my business card. Honourable Justices, ladies and gentlemen, respected guests, dutiful parents, beautiful graduates maybe, but we are not allowed to mention, I'm sure, that today is the 14th of February, better known as Red Day. It's my great pleasure to be here in Pakistan. This is my first visit ever to Pakistan, and so clearly my first visit to Lahore too. It's the first time that anyone has visited Lahore for 7 years from the university, I think. So it's amazing to be here and to be able to have this graduation when I happen to be here, though I understand that it's been reorganized a little on my behalf, but I'm very grateful for that. It's always interesting whenever you go to a graduation, and I go to lots of graduations every year, normally about 20 to 25, that you look out for things that will happen and not happen again. And there are always some firsts. Of course, we have our most famous first this afternoon, Muhammad Mustafa Khan, whom we've recognized many times. And little does he know that when he made those comments to me more than 3 years ago, that when he got to the second year, I did indeed look at his results and see how he was coming along. But I made a note in my chief examiner's book to make sure I looked out for his results the year after. So it was also a great pleasure to write to him about a week before the results came out and tell him that he was going to get this first. It's the highest aggregate in my watch. That is this century. I can't say what happened in the last 157 years because I'm not quite that old. But what's amazing is that to come here and to see so many prizes, so many people doing so well in such difficult circumstances, because we have, as you probably know, 18,000 students doing the laws program around the world in 180 countries. And it's amazing that the Pakistanis do so well, and particularly you have marked them out, Mustafa, this year. But of course I've got some other firsts that I've noticed in today's ceremony. For this is the first time that I've been to a University of London graduation where people have worn mortarboards with golden tassels. I've never seen that before. I've never seen anyone turn their mortarboard when they graduated either. But there we are, there's a first for everything. And it's amazing to just sit here and enjoy the fact that people go along the same path in every degree, in every study pattern throughout the world. Because you listen to people giving thanks to the teachers. Of course, they are great. They gave them 9 out of 10 this morning when I asked about it. So they can still improve. They've got 2 or 3 distinctions, but maybe they can get 1 more. So Mustafa, you must help them. But amazing that you have this faculty to help you so much, to give thanks for their support, to the administrators for their support, to your fellow students for their support, and of course to your parents for their support in so many ways, not just in nourishing your bodies and clothing you, but of course paying the bill at the end of the day. So you must be grateful to them too. Last year I reached the grand young age of 50. I know I don't look a day over 29. And a few of my classmates from when I was at university got in touch with me. As we went through the time of becoming 50, we decided that we had reached younger middle age. And I met with 2 of my friends for dinner who I had not seen since the day that I graduated, almost 30 years ago. And of course, when we arrived, we were looking out. What do they look like? What might they look like? What did they look like? Of course, some of us had hair in those days. Some of us were rather thinner than we might be now, and so on. But it's quite difficult to see who you're looking out for when you're looking out for someone you haven't seen for 30 years. Well, we had the dinner and we talked about the times that we were at university, about our principal, who we all universally hated. We did not like our principal at all. and we made jokes about him as we did when we were young students. But we too thought about our teachers, the good teachers who inspired us. We thought about our fellow classmates, some of whom have even passed away by now. And we thought about where we are in life. And everything, like a graduation, like your 21st birthday, your 50th birthday, your 40th birthday, maybe even your 30th birthday, which I suppose for you is the closest goal these days, marks out some occasion, marks out a point in your life. And today, you who have graduated, mark out a point in your life. And when you get to that point, you have to think about, what will I do next? What will happen next? And of course, many people will tell you to have a plan. I cannot tell you to have a plan in good conscience, for I have never had a plan myself. And I feel that it would be an arch lie and an arch deceit to tell you that you will get somewhere because you plan it. I don't think that is true. I think you will get somewhere because you have skills, because you are interested in others, because you are willing to listen to others, and because you are willing to network and respect others. So if I can give you any advice on reaching the grand young age of 50, you got that, did you? If I can give you any advice on reaching the grand young age of 50, about how you might think about the next steps, I think you have to look around you, see the people who are with you, see the people who might be 30 years older than you now, perhaps your parents, your family, your friends, and maybe even some of your teachers might be 30 years older than you. Some of them might even be 35 years older, but I don't want to cast aspersions. And if you ask them what will be important then, of course it will be important what you have achieved in your career, but there will be many other things which will be much more important. And you will ask yourselves, have I made a good life? Have I made a good marriage? Have I got some good children? Have I loved a lot? Have I laughed a lot? And have I enjoyed this life that I have? And so, today, you don't need to really think about swatting up for exams. Well, the poor diploma students don't have long to wait. But rejoice in what you have. Enjoy the company of those people who are around you, your family and friends. Be grateful to them, because this is a moment that in 30 years you will look back on and appreciate all those things and see where you've got. But it won't be the fact that you got a degree, or even that you got a first-class degree, I'm afraid, that will mark out your life. What will mark out your life is what you have achieved in terms of your relationships with others. And if only so many people realise that the value of other human beings, and being prepared to listen to them, laugh with them, love with them, sit a while and comfort them from time to time, that's what will give you a good life. At least what I think.